Welcome to an amazing story that will inspire you and help improve your English skills. Genghis Khan's story. The early life of Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan, originally named Temujin, was born in the harsh and unforgiving plains of Mongolia in the year 1162. His early life was marked by struggle, survival, and the harsh realities of the nomadic lifestyle. A harsh beginning. Temujin was born into a world of constant conflict. The Mongolian plains were a brutal environment where tribes fought for resources, and survival was a daily challenge. His father, Yeshuji, was a tribal chief and a strong warrior. When Temujin was born, his father had just defeated an enemy leader named Temujin, and as a tradition, he named his son after the defeated enemy to signify his dominance. Life was tough for Temujin and his family. They lived in small tents, moved frequently, and relied on hunting and herding for sustenance. The family had very little, and they often went hungry. Despite these hardships, Temujin learned valuable lessons about resilience and survival from a young age. Tragedy strikes. When Temujin was around 9 years old, his father was poisoned by a rival tribe. This was a devastating blow to the family. Yeshuji's last words to Temujin were, "You must be strong. You must never trust anyone. If you are weak, they will kill you." After his father's death, Temujin's family was abandoned by their tribe. They were left to fend for themselves in the wild, facing starvation and the harsh Mongolian winters. Temujin's mother, Hoylan, was a strong and resourceful woman, but even she struggled to keep the family alive. The first kill. As Temujin grew older, he faced increasing challenges within his own family. His older half-brother, Victor, often bullied him and took the best portions of food for himself. One day, Temujin's anger boiled over. He took a bow and arrow and killed Victor. This act marked a turning point in Temujin's life. He realized that to survive and gain power, he had to be ruthless and take control of his own destiny. Captivity and escape. At the age of 15, Temujin was captured by an enemy tribe and held as a slave. He endured harsh treatment and was bound with wooden shackles. However, Temujin was not one to give up. One night, he saw an opportunity to escape. He killed a guard with a wooden club and fled into the night, barefoot and bleeding. Despite the odds, he managed to return to his family, more determined than ever to rise above his circumstances. The rise of Genghis Khan. After escaping from captivity, Temujin began his journey to power. He was no longer just a boy struggling to survive. He was a young man with a vision to unite the Mongolian tribes and become a great leader. This part of his life is filled with battles, alliances, and the building of his reputation as a formidable warrior and strategist. Building alliances. Temujin knew that he could not achieve his goals alone. He needed allies and a loyal army. One of his first significant alliances was with a young warrior named Jamukha. They became Manda, or blood brothers, a sacred bond in Mongolian culture. Together, they trained, hunted, and dreamed of uniting the Mongolian tribes. Temujin also sought the support of powerful leaders. One such leader was Toro Khan, the leader of the Kirat tribe, and an old friend of Temujin's father. Toro Khan saw potential in Temujin and agreed to support him. This alliance was crucial in the early stages of Temujin's rise to power. Marriage and family. At the age of 16, Temujin married Bort, a woman from the Konkarat tribe. Bort was not only his wife, but also his confidant and supporter. She believed in Temujin's destiny and provided him with emotional strength. Their marriage was also a strategic alliance, as it strengthened ties with the Konkarat tribe. However, their happiness was short-lived. Shortly after their marriage, Bort was kidnapped by the Merkit tribe, a rival group. This event was a significant turning point for Temujin. He vowed to rescue Bort and take revenge on the Merkit. The rescue of Bort. Temujin sought help from his allies, including Jamukha and Toro Khan. Together, they gathered an army of 20,000 warriors and launched an attack on the Merkit. The battle was fierce, but Temujin's forces emerged victorious. They defeated the Merkit, killed their leader, and rescued Bort. This victory was a significant milestone for Temujin. It not only demonstrated his leadership and strategic skills, but also increased his reputation among the Mongolian tribes. Many warriors began to see him as a capable and fearless leader. The rift with Jamukha. Despite their initial camaraderie, tensions began to rise between Temujin and Jamukha. Jamukha was jealous of Temujin's growing influence and popularity. Their differing visions for the future of Mongolia further strained their relationship. Jamukha believed in the old ways, where power was concentrated among the nobles, while Temujin advocated for a more egalitarian approach, where loyalty and merit were rewarded. The final break came when their armies clashed in a brutal battle. Jamukha had a larger force, but Temujin's disciplined and loyal warriors fought fiercely. Although Temujin initially seemed to be winning, Jamukha used a clever tactic to trap Temujin's army. Temujin was forced to retreat, and many of his men were captured. Jamukha's treatment of the captured warriors was brutal. He boiled them alive, broke their bones, and beheaded them. This act of cruelty backfired, as it alienated many of Jamukha's followers. They began to see Temujin as a more just and merciful leader, and many defected to his side. Rebuilding and strengthening. Temujin learned valuable lessons from his defeat. He realized the importance of loyalty, discipline, and unity. He reorganized his army into units of 10, 100, 1,000, and 10,000, ensuring better coordination and control. He also implemented strict discipline and rewarded loyalty, regardless of a warrior's social status. Temujin's army became a formidable force, known for its speed, strategy, and fearlessness. They moved like a pack of wolves, striking quickly and retreating before the enemy could regroup. This new approach to warfare gave Temujin a significant advantage over his rivals. The final showdown with Jamukha. Years later, Temujin returned with a stronger and more disciplined army. Jamukha's forces, weakened by defections and internal strife, were no match for Temujin's warriors. The final battle between the two former blood brothers was decisive. Temujin emerged victorious, and Jamukha was captured. Despite Jamukha's past betrayal and cruelty, Temujin showed mercy. He offered Jamukha a quick and painless death, a stark contrast to the brutal treatment Jamukha had inflicted on others. This act of mercy further solidified Temujin's reputation as a just and honorable leader. The unification of Mongolia. With Jamukha's defeat, Temujin's path to unifying the Mongolian tribes was clear. In 1206, a grand assembly of Mongolian tribes, known as a Kurultai, was held. The tribes unanimously chose Temujin as their supreme leader and bestowed upon him the title Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. This marked the beginning of a new era for Mongolia. Under Genghis Khan's leadership, the fragmented and warring tribes were united into a single, powerful nation. Genghis Khan's vision of a united Mongolia had finally come to fruition. The foundation of the Mongol Empire. Genghis Khan's rise to power was not just about military conquests. It was also about building a strong and cohesive society. He implemented a new legal code known as the Yasa, which laid down strict laws and regulations. The Yasa emphasized loyalty, discipline, and justice, and it played a crucial role in maintaining order within the growing empire. Genghis Khan also promoted meritocracy, where individuals were rewarded based on their abilities and loyalty rather than their social status. This approach helped him build a loyal and efficient administration, capable of managing the vast territories that would soon come under his control. The vision beyond Mongolia. With Mongolia united, Genghis Khan set his sights on expanding his empire. He looked beyond the Mongolian plains and envisioned a vast empire that would stretch across continents. His first target was the Jin dynasty in China, a powerful but fragmented kingdom that had long been a thorn in the side of the Mongolian tribes. Genghis Khan's campaign against the Jin dynasty was marked by brilliant strategy and ruthless efficiency. He used a combination of speed, surprise, and psychological warfare to overwhelm his enemies. The Mongols' ability to adapt and innovate on the battlefield gave them a significant advantage over the more traditional and rigid Chinese armies. The legacy of Genghis Khan's rise to power. Genghis Khan's rise to power is a testament to his resilience, strategic brilliance, and unwavering determination. From a young boy struggling to survive in the harsh Mongolian plains, he rose to become the leader of a united and powerful nation. His ability to build alliances, inspire loyalty, and adapt to changing circumstances set the stage for the creation of one of the largest empires in history. Genghis Khan's rise to power was not just about conquest, it was about creating a new order. He transformed the fragmented and warring tribes of Mongolia into a cohesive and disciplined force, capable of taking on the world. His vision, leadership, and legacy continue to inspire and captivate people to this day. The conquests of Genghis Khan. After unifying the Mongolian tribes and establishing himself as the supreme leader, Genghis Khan set his sights on expanding his empire. His conquests would take him and his armies across vast territories, from the steppes of Central Asia to the heart of China and beyond. This part of his life is marked by brilliant military strategies, ruthless efficiency, and the creation of one of the largest empires in history. The campaign against the Jin dynasty. Genghis Khan's first major target was the Jin dynasty in northern China. The Jin dynasty was a powerful but fragmented kingdom that had long been a thorn in the side of the Mongolian tribes. The Jin emperors had insulted Genghis Khan in the past, and he was determined to make them pay for their arrogance. In 1211, Genghis Khan launched a massive invasion of the Jin dynasty. He led an army of 100,000 warriors, known for their speed, discipline, and fearlessness. The Mongols moved like a storm, burning villages, cutting off food supplies, and using psychological warfare to demoralize their enemies. The Jin dynasty's armies were no match for the Mongols. The Chinese forces were larger but lacked the coordination and adaptability of Genghis Khan's warriors. The Mongols used Hitandran tactics, feigned retreats, and sudden attacks to confuse and overwhelm their opponents. By 1215, the Mongols had reached Beijing, the capital of the Jin dynasty. The city was heavily fortified, with massive walls and a large garrison. Genghis Khan knew that a direct assault would be costly, so he adopted a different strategy. He blockaded the city, cutting off all food supplies and forcing the inhabitants to starve. He also used Chinese engineers to build siege weapons and sent spies to create chaos within the city. After months of suffering, Beijing surrendered. The Mongols entered the city like conquerors, and the once mighty capital was reduced to ashes. The fall of Beijing sent a clear message to the world: no one could stand against Genghis Khan and his armies. The conquest of the Khwarezmian Empire. With the Jin dynasty subdued, Genghis Khan turned his attention westward. His next target was the Khwarezmian Empire, a wealthy and powerful kingdom that spanned modern-day Iran, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. The Khwarezmian Empire was ruled by Shah Muhammad II, a proud and arrogant leader who underestimated the Mongols. Genghis Khan initially sought peaceful relations with the Khwarezmian Empire. He sent a caravan of 500 merchants to establish trade ties and deliver a message of friendship. However, Shah Muhammad II made a fatal mistake. He accused the merchants of being spies and had them executed. He then sent their heads back to Genghis Khan as a declaration of war. Genghis Khan was furious. In 1219, he launched a full-scale invasion of the Khwarezmian Empire. He led an army of 200,000 warriors, determined to exact revenge for the betrayal. The Mongols moved with lightning speed, using their famous horse archery and Hitandran tactics to overwhelm their enemies. The Khwarezmian Empire was no match for the Mongols. The Shah's armies were larger but lacked the discipline and coordination of Genghis Khan's forces. The Mongols captured city after city, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. The once so prosperous cities of Samarkand and Bukhara fell to the Mongols, and their inhabitants were slaughtered without mercy. Shah Muhammad II fled in terror, but Genghis Khan was relentless. He hunted the Shah down, forcing him to flee from one city to another, until he died on a remote island in the Caspian Sea. The Khwarezmian Empire was completely destroyed, and its people were either killed or enslaved. The invasion of Eastern Europe. With the Khwarezmian Empire conquered, Genghis Khan set his sights on Eastern Europe. He sent his generals, Subutai and Jib, on a reconnaissance mission to explore the lands to the west. The two generals led a small but highly mobile force, known as the Tumen, and conducted a series of raids and attacks on the Russian principalities. The Mongols' tactics were devastatingly effective. They used speed, surprise, and psychological warfare to demoralize their enemies. The Russian princes, who were divided and often at odds with each other, were unable to mount a coordinated defense. The Mongols defeated the Russian armies at the Battle of the Kalka River in 1223, and the Russian principalities were forced to pay tribute to the Mongols. Genghis Khan's generals continued their campaign into Eastern Europe, reaching as far as Hungary and Poland. The Mongols' advance was halted only by the death of Genghis Khan in 1227, which forced them to return to Mongolia to participate in the selection of a new leader. The conquest of the Tangut Kingdom. In 1226, Genghis Khan launched a campaign against the Tangut Kingdom, also known as the Western Xia dynasty. The Tangut had betrayed Genghis Khan by refusing to provide troops for his campaign against the Khwarezmian Empire. Genghis Khan was determined to punish them for their treachery. The campaign against the Tangut was brutal. The Mongols destroyed cities, burned temples, and slaughtered the royal family. The Tangut Kingdom was completely annihilated, and its people were either killed or enslaved. The conquest of the Tangut Kingdom was one of Genghis Khan's final military achievements. The legacy of Genghis Khan's conquests. Genghis Khan's conquests were marked by a combination of brilliant strategy, ruthless efficiency, and a willingness to adapt and innovate. He transformed the Mongols from a collection of warring tribes into a disciplined and highly effective military force. His armies were known for their speed, mobility, and ability to strike with devastating force. Genghis Khan's conquests also had a profound impact on the world. He created the largest contiguous empire in history, stretching from China to Eastern Europe. His empire facilitated trade and cultural exchange along the Silk Road, connecting the East and the West in ways that had never been possible before. Despite his reputation as a ruthless conqueror, Genghis Khan was also a visionary leader. He implemented a legal code, the Yasa, that emphasized justice, loyalty, and discipline. He promoted meritocracy, rewarding individuals based on their abilities rather than their social status. His legacy continues to inspire and captivate people to this day. The legacy of Genghis Khan and the impact of his empire on the world. Genghis Khan's legacy is one of the most profound and far-reaching in history. His conquests created the largest contiguous empire the world has ever seen, stretching from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe. But his impact goes beyond mere territorial expansion. Genghis Khan's empire facilitated cultural exchange, economic growth, and technological innovation, leaving a lasting imprint on the world. The Mongol Empire, a new world order. Under Genghis Khan's leadership, the Mongol Empire became a powerful and cohesive force. He implemented a new legal code known as the Yasa, which emphasized loyalty, discipline, and justice. The Yasa laid down strict laws and regulations, ensuring order and stability within the empire. It also promoted meritocracy, where individuals were rewarded based on their abilities and loyalty rather than their social status. Genghis Khan's administrative reforms were equally significant. He established a centralized government with a network of officials and administrators, responsible for managing the vast territories of the empire. This system of governance allowed the Mongols to maintain control over their conquests and ensure the efficient collection of taxes and tribute. The Silk Road, a highway of trade and culture. One of the most significant impacts of Genghis Khan's empire was the reopening and expansion of the Silk Road. The Silk Road was a network of trade routes that connected the East and the West, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. Under Mongol rule, the Silk Road became safer and more accessible, leading to a period of unprecedented trade and cultural exchange. The Mongols' control over the Silk Road allowed goods such as silk, spices, and precious metals to flow freely between China, the Middle East, and Europe. This trade brought immense wealth to the Mongol Empire and stimulated economic growth in the regions under its control. The increased interaction between different cultures also led to the exchange of knowledge and ideas, contributing to advancements in science, technology, and the arts. Religious tolerance and cultural exchange. Genghis Khan was known for his policy of religious tolerance. Unlike many other conquerors of his time, he did not force his subjects to adopt his religion or beliefs. Instead, he allowed people to practice their own religions freely. This policy of tolerance helped to create a more harmonious and stable empire, where people of different faiths could coexist peacefully. The Mongol Empire became a melting pot of cultures and religions. Buddhists, Muslims, Christians, and others lived side by side, sharing their knowledge and traditions. This cultural exchange led to the spread of new ideas and technologies, enriching the societies within the empire and beyond. Technological and scientific advancements. The Mongol Empire played a crucial role in the transmission of knowledge and technology between the East and the West. The Mongols' extensive trade networks and their policy of encouraging cultural exchange facilitated the spread of innovations such as papermaking, printing, and gunpowder. One of the most significant technological advancements during this period was the development of the printing press. The Chinese had already invented movable type printing, but it was under Mongol rule that this technology spread to other parts of the world. The printing press revolutionized the way information was disseminated, leading to an increase in literacy and the spread of knowledge. The Mongols also played a key role in the transmission of gunpowder technology. Originally developed in China, gunpowder was introduced to the Middle East and Europe through the Mongol Empire. This technology would later transform warfare and have a profound impact on the course of history. The Pax Mongolica, a period of peace and stability. The period of Mongol rule, known as the Pax Mongolica, was characterized by relative peace and stability across the empire. The Mongols' efficient administration and strict enforcement of the law created a secure environment for trade and travel. This period of stability allowed for the flourishing of commerce, culture, and intellectual pursuits. The Pax Mongolica also facilitated the movement of people and ideas across vast distances. Scholars, merchants, and artisans traveled freely within the empire, sharing their knowledge and skills. This exchange of ideas led to advancements in various fields, including astronomy, medicine, and engineering. The legacy of Genghis Khan's descendants. Genghis Khan's legacy did not end with his death in 1227. His descendants continued to expand and rule the Mongol Empire, further extending its influence and impact. One of his most famous descendants was Kublai Khan, who established the Yuan dynasty in China and became the first non-Chinese emperor to rule the entire country. Kublai Khan's reign marked a period of cultural and economic prosperity in China. He promoted trade and commerce, built grand cities, and encouraged the arts and sciences. The Yuan dynasty also facilitated greater interaction between China and the rest of the world, further enhancing the exchange of goods and ideas. Another notable descendant was Hulagu Khan, who led the Mongol invasion of the Middle East. Hulagu's conquests included the sack of Baghdad in 1258, which marked the end of the Abbasid Caliphate and the Islamic Golden Age. Despite the destruction, the Mongols' rule in the Middle East also led to the spread of new ideas and technologies, contributing to the region's cultural and intellectual development. The enduring influence of Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan's influence extends far beyond the borders of his empire. His military strategies and tactics are still studied and admired by historians and military leaders today. His ability to unite diverse tribes and create a cohesive and disciplined force is a testament to his leadership and vision. Genghis Khan's legacy is also evident in the genetic makeup of the modern world. It is estimated that 1 in every 200 men alive today is a direct descendant of Genghis Khan. This remarkable genetic legacy is a testament to the widespread impact of his empire and the extensive intermingling of populations during the Mongol rule. Genghis Khan in popular culture. Genghis Khan's life and achievements have been the subject of numerous books, films, and documentaries. He is often portrayed as a ruthless conqueror, but also as a visionary leader who transformed the world. His story continues to captivate and inspire people, serving as a reminder of the power of determination, resilience, and leadership. In Mongolia, Genghis Khan is celebrated as a national hero. His image is prominently displayed in statues, monuments, and cultural events. The giant equestrian statue of Genghis Khan near Ulaanbaatar is one of the most iconic symbols of Mongolia's history and pride. Visitors can climb to the top of the statue and enjoy panoramic views of the surrounding landscape. A fitting tribute to the man who once ruled the largest empire in the world. Conclusion. Genghis Khan's legacy is one of the most enduring and impactful in history. His conquests created a vast empire that facilitated trade, cultural exchange, and technological innovation. His policies of religious tolerance and meritocracy helped to create a more harmonious and stable society. The Mongol Empire's influence extended far beyond its borders, shaping the course of history and leaving a lasting imprint on the world. Genghis Khan's story is a testament to the power of vision, leadership, and determination. From a young boy struggling to survive in the harsh Mongolian plains, he rose to become one of the most powerful and influential leaders in history. His legacy continues to inspire and captivate people, reminding us of the profound impact that one individual can have on the world.
Thank you for listening. Please subscribe this channel and enjoy learning English.